Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grab Your Keys. Today is going to be a fabulous show. I have Brittany Thompson, who is in our Florida office. She runs our Florida branch. And I am so super to actually dive in, Brittany, into how you have been so successful over the last few years. I mean, we've been in a crazy market and you have found such success. So, Brittany, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
So, Brittany, tell us and our audience a little bit about how long you have been in the mortgage industry. Like, what's your background been?
I I entered into the mortgage industry right around when COVID became this huge thing and everything was shut down. I was in the medical field, and so my office shut down for months. And at that time, I had stayed in contact with the loan officer that helped me finance my home. Of course, rates were super low and it was crazy. So she was looking for, someone to help. And I decided to bite the bullet and go try it out. And 3 months in, got licensed, never turned back. And so I've definitely grown a lot, learned a lot. So yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah. So you've been bitten by the mortgage bug.
I've been bitten for sure.
Because you definitely have a passion for loving on and helping, especially first-time home buyers get into their house, especially veterans get into their homes. I've watched you really love on those clients and customers, obviously everyone,
Yeah.
but I feel that you have this like enthusiasm when it's the person's first house. Like, how can you explain like that feeling to others when you get to give people the keys to their first home?
Oh my gosh. I remember the feeling so well myself when I bought my first home. So I have this like empathy and this love and this like excitement for them, and it's just so exciting to walk them through from start to finish, and at the end of it them just feel like incredible. We just made the biggest purchase of our lives. This is our step into financial wealth. Like, nobody has equity, and nobody builds equity in anything more than their first home, so it's just a good feeling. So it's indescribable, honestly. It's great.
Yeah. So you were in the medical field and then you got into the mortgage field, medical and mortgage. What do you think some of the similarities are in both of those fields?
I think they're super similar, and I think that's why I feel like I'm very good, especially in the mortgage industry, because I do have that like nurturing spirit about me, and I want to nurture and love on and help everybody. And so I took that from the medical field into this because, in the medical field, they were coming in for surgery. They were super scared, super nervous. And we'd make them laugh and calm their nerves and, remind them everything's going to be okay. And we have to do that all the time in this industry. So yeah, I think that is kind of how I've come in and been able to nurture and love on my people so well. And I just have that nurturing side of me. I know most mothers do too, but
yeah, you're a great mom too. So what do you feel the 3 keys to your success have been, if you were to put them in words?
Yeah. So number 1 is definitely just being super genuine. Like, I truly like, I don't do this for the money. I truly love everyone that I work with, and I want to see them grow, just become, blossom into flower. Like, I love just being genuine, loving on everybody. Number 2 would probably be watching like, I stay involved from start to finish in every loan, all the way up to the closing table. And so just growing that rapport and that relationship with my clients, I think that really helps me to like get that repeat business and have those referrals come over, because they had such a good feeling and experience through such a stressful and hard time. And then the third would probably be, oh goodness, 3 keys to success. I don't know. I guess just being in, one thing that I strive in is like meeting my clients in person. We can do this remote. We can do everything we do remotely. But having an office and being able to meet my clients face to face in person, that has been a key to success for me.
Right.
So yeah, I would say those three things.
Well, I think that in all of those three things, you're also showing the empathy in being genuine and your life experience, and also by staying involved, you're showing your empathy. You're showing them how much you care, and then that person to person really wraps it all up. In
Right.
that's the way you do business.
It is.
And you want to have that touch feeling with people so that they can understand where you're coming from, and so that you can understand where they're coming from. I just was on the phone with clients and they wanted to have a phone call with me. And I said, no, we need to have a digital phone call. I need to see you.
Yeah.
And, they're trying to choose what lender they're using. And I knew if I just had a phone call, I would not make as good of an impression as if I had that face-to-face or that digital even communication. We've all learned since COVID how to communicate digitally, but nothing is as good as that person to person. So I agree with you on that totally. Who does Brittany admire?
I thought about this question, and I would say that, every person that I've come in contact with on this journey from starting it to now, everyone has given me a little nugget, a little bit of something to hold on to and use and utilize. And, but ultimately, my husband and kids are, they've been so supportive. They've had my back. This job is very hard. Sometimes we work a lot of hours. We, again, get a lot from it in the end, but it can be very hard. It can be very draining. And so having the support from them and, them understanding. And my daughter's 16, and I want her to see what hard work does, and having a good work ethic and being able to just, become what you've dreamt of being. And so, their support has been instrumental in my success.
I love that. Yeah. And as they get older, you'll see how much you following your path, how much that empowers them to be able to follow their path, which is really a great thing to see. If you were going to be in any other profession, what other profession would you be in?
Well, I was going to, stick it out in the medical field, become an RN, become a nurse, and keep furthering my career in that direction. I think that honestly, that's probably would be, I don't see me doing anything else. Anything that involves caring for, empathizing, loving on, is me to the core. And so medical field, becoming an RN would probably be the only other field besides this one. Yeah.
So I don't usually, this is not a question that I usually ask, but you're such a good mom. How do you, and I know I also am a mom of two. How do you balance, for those working moms out there, how do you balance, a high pressure job with being a high pressure, high touch mom? How do you handle that on a day-to-day basis?
Gosh, I don't always. It's so hard. But taking out time with each of them, setting out special time with them. I'm going to take my daughter on her first, 4-day cruise in a few weeks. So she's never been on a cruise. So I try to, really at some point in time throughout, once a month at least, have that special one-on-one time with each of them and remind them, I know mommy's busy. I know I'm home late, but I'm still here. And I take my son to school every morning. We have that special time. But my daughter, she's 16, she's driving now. And so I'm it's really convenient and nice, but I miss those morning drives of being able to catch up with her and talk to her, So, yeah, it's a hard balance. It's not easy at all. But
yeah, I love that you say the morning drive. I drove both of my children to school every single day. From the time the first day they went to school until, they drove themselves to school. And I remember that thinking this is the last day I'm going to drive, my daughter or my son, and then they're going to drive themselves tomorrow.
Yeah.
It kind of is a little heartbreaking.
It is.
And it's kind of like when you stop putting your kids to bed and they come in, they're like, I'm good, Mom. I'll just give you a hug and a kiss. You don't need to put me to bed. And you're like, was last night the last night I was going to put them to bed? I didn't know that. I didn't know we were having this event. I didn't know that this was going to be tonight.
Yeah.
And that really just does show the heart of, taking those things out and having that one-on-one time is so important. And I love that you do that for you and your children. That's super. How do you keep it together with your husband? Like how working all the time, like he's supporting you, like how he's supporting your career, this new career you've had for, the last, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. Going on 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years. So how does he, how do you guys carve that time out for you?
We every little bit that we get, if it means staying up a little bit later at night, so we can lay in the bed and talk and catch up, we do that, or dinner alone every once in a while. We live very close to a lake and there's a restaurant on the water, and like that's our spot because it's like 2 minutes from the house. So the kids are fine. Lexi's 16, so we go for an hour or two and have dinner alone together. Nice. Little things like that add up. And we've definitely struggled. I'm not gonna lie. Like we've struggled. Like he's like, well, I don't see you anymore. I don't know you anymore. Like where are you? So, but we're like finally, especially this last year, we're figuring it out and we're learning how to.
Yeah, there's like a rhythm and a balance that you have to like get, and it has to be your own. Yeah. Like you can't tell anybody else what theirs has to be. They have to like feel through that, just as though you have to feel through being a mom. I always said I had a 5-minute rule for the kids, and people who listen to Grab Your Keys often know my 5-minute rule. When they were in school, if you weren't going to be in the basketball game or you were going to just flit across the stage, in a play, or I had to be at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't watching other people's kids do stuff. Right. Like I would just want to see my kids do stuff.
Yeah.
So you had to be the one that if I went to an awards thing, then you had to be the one that was getting at least one award. Yeah. So that time's precious.
It is.
And that allows for other time you have with others. Yeah. And I love that you're finding that because I've watched you grow over the last couple of years, and I have such admiration for how you handle yourself in your business and not in your business. And I know that you're growing your branch, and that's a fabulous thing to be doing. And I think that you're doing a great job. So what's in the future for Brittany?
Oh, continued growth, continued success, finding that peace and balance that we are always searching for in this business. And we always get a little bit closer and learn more every day. But I think it's just, really just continuing what I've started and finishing it. I want not finishing it, but, just that continue just growing and, hitting goals. Like I want to hit my goals and I want to just keep succeeding. And I think with you on my side, I could definitely get there. And I'm super excited.
Well, you can do anything that you want to do. I believe that you definitely have that mindset. Yeah. And having a positive, heart-serving mindset is definitely the key in the business that we're in, because we are in a hard business. And I just really wanted all those loan officers out there who, feel that it's a struggle to hear that you are a success story. You went from helping someone build their branch to now building your own branch. Yeah. And so if anyone wants to work with Brittany, or if anyone wants to help partner with Brittany in the Florida area, you should definitely reach out to Homes with Brittany, right?
Mortgages
with Brittany.
Yay. Yeah. You can find me on Facebook and all over.
Yeah, so super. Well, thanks for spending some time with us today. I truly appreciate it. And everyone, just remember, we have great sessions coming up. So always be on the lookout for Grab Your Keys.